Hi there, it's Lisa from 90% Knitting and also from Fibernymph Dye Works. Today's video is not a 90% knitting episode. It is instead a special Fibernymph Dye Works episode to introduce my new fiber club to you that will be going up for signups starting on Monday, April 10th at 9 a.m. Eastern. The club is going to be called the Barberpole Fiber Club. So if you are a spinner, you may already know what barber poling refers to with regard to spinning. But if you are maybe a newer spinner and are not quite sure, I thought I would take a minute and illustrate that technique for you. I have a couple of of hand-spun yarn samples here that I've spun in the past. This first example is a very, very obvious, very striking example of barber poling. And to begin with, think of a barber pole. You know what a barber pole is, right? Like where guys go to get their hair cut and they have that candy caney kind of stripy thing out front. That's what we're referring to with barber poling. So this would be one example. And clearly it's a very striking example. The two singles that I plied here, this was a 2-ply. The one was almost all white. It did get up into some gray up here, but it was mostly a white single. The other one was mostly black and it went into different blues. So when they were plied together, obviously you've got a really big difference in colors going on there. So that is one example of barber poling. Another example of barber poling that that's a little more subtle would be this skein. Both of the singles that I spun in this skein were multicolored. But as you can see, there were various areas that they really, when they plied, they met up with different colors, so you get a very strong barber poling effect there. In other areas, like right here where these greens came together, one green is darker, one is lighter, so you can see a little bit of barber poling, but not quite as much. So those are examples of barber poling. It's a really fun way to play with color in your spinning. I love the effect. I think it looks really neat knit up into various accessories. Like I love doing hats out of barber poled yarn. It's just a lot of fun. It lets the colors mingle in unexpected ways. So let me tell you a little bit about what I'm envisioning for the barber pole effects that you'll be able to create with the yarn or with the fiber that I send you in this club. First of all, I will be sending out equal amounts of two different types of fiber, the same fiber base, but two different types of dyed fiber. One is going to be a semi-solid fiber, so it will be the same color the whole way through, just at different intensities because it will be semi-solid. The other braid of fiber that you'll get, however, in the shipment will be one of multicolors. None of those colors will be the exact same as is in the semi-solid colored braid, but they will be complementary to each other. And so once each one is spun up and they're plied together, you're going to be able to see that semi-solid color travel continuously throughout your whole plied yarn, with all of the colors of the multicolored braid playing against that. I think it'll provide a good bit of continuity having that semi-solid in there, along with the fun of the multicolors. Now the multicolored braid that you'll get each month is either going to be a variegated braid of fiber or it may be a gradient braid of fiber, gradient dyed. I can tell you of the 3 shipments for the club, only one will be a gradient, the other 2 will be variegated. So I hope that gives you an idea about how I am planning to dye the fiber for the club. Let me give you a little bit more detail with regard to the actual elements of the club, which first of all, it's a fiber club, so let's talk about fibers. And as with most of my clubs that I do, I love to be able to give you guys choices. So you will have 3 different fibers that you can choose from. This will be a 3-month club, so you can either choose to have one of these fibers and just have it the same fiber through the entire club, so the same one each shipment, or you can choose the option to have a different fiber in each shipment, and that way you will get to try each one of them over the course of the 3-month club. So the 3 fibers that you can choose from are BFL, so blue-faced Leicester. This is a really nice fiber if you're a newer spinner and you're not sure you can handle, maybe slippier fibers. It has a little bit longer staple length. It's got a lot of crimp. It's a really nice fiber to work with. I love spinning BFL even now. I've been spinning for years and I still really enjoy BFL. Nice, and it's springy. It's a lot of fun to spin. The second fiber choice is a Polworth silk blend, 85% Polworth and 15% silk, Tessa silk. Silk blends tend to it's better than just trying to spin straight silk because silk is a very, very slippery fiber. But Polworth is a really squishy, spongy kind of fiber. So when you add the silk to it, it just gives it a nice sheen. And with the 85-15 blend, that's a nice blend to work with because the fiber doesn't become overly slippery that way. And the last option is a 100% Falkland fiber. Falkland is not actually a breed. It refers to where the fiber comes from, and that is the Falkland Islands. I do not have my list here to tell you exactly what breeds comprise it, but if you do have access to that, and I can put that information in the signups. Actually, it's, in my estimation though, I've never spun a Falkland that I did not love. It's just a very friendly fiber. I don't think it would be at all difficult for a newer spinner to spin. It's got a nice body to it. So those are the 3 fibers. I chose them all because they are really nice fibers for pretty much anyone of any spinning experience level to deal with. So. As far as fiber amounts, you're also going to get a choice there. You can choose either a 6-ounce shipment every month or a 12-ounce shipment every month. That will have to be consistent over all 3 shipments. But if you get the 6-ounce shipment, you will get 3 ounces of the semi-solid fiber and 3 ounces of the variegated or gradient fiber. And then with the 12-ounce shipment, you would get 6 ounces of the semi-solid and 6 ounces of the variegated or gradient fiber. Okay, that's the fiber amounts. Prices. Obviously, these are all priced slightly differently, and I have all of the price breakdowns for both the 6-ounce and the 12-ounce options listed in a thread in the Ravelry group, the Fibernymph Dyeworks Ravelry group. So if you go there now, it is up. It's called the Barberpole Fiber Club. That's the name of the thread, and I have all of this information that I'm telling you. It's all listed there. I'm not going to go through all of the prices right now, verbally to you, but please go ahead there. I have them all broken down. In addition, you have the choice. Again, I do this pretty much with all of my clubs. You will have the choice as to whether you want to pay for your club per shipment. So you would pay right before, well, not right before, but like the month prior to your shipment going out, you would pay for that. Or if you choose, you can pay for all 3 of your shipments at one time in advance. And if you do that, you will get a 10% discount. So I also have the shipping charges listed for the US, for Canada, and for any other international. The shipping charges, unfortunately, I cannot discount, but I have listed them as close to the true shipping charges as they'll be. I do know that international and Canadian shipping is kind of high, and I do apologize for that, in which case, that will have to be your choice, but I'm trying to keep it as low as possible, just because I know that can be kind of prohibitive for people who are not within the United States. Okay, so signups. Let me tell you how that's going to work. As I said, signups will begin on Monday, which is April 10th at 9 a.m. At that point, I will list a sign-up link. I will add a sign-up link to that thread in the Ravelry group. that will take you to a sign up form. It'll be a Google form, and I've used this method for a lot of my other clubs as well. So go there, click on that link, go to the form and fill it out. You'll have your chance to make all of your options as far as your fiber and how you want to pay and all that, and submit. I am not planning on having a limit on how many people can join the club. I'm limiting the sign up time. So it will start on the 10th and it will close at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, April 19th. I'm over here looking at my calendar, by the way. So it will be open for a little over a week. So as long as you sign up within that week's time, or those 9 days, I guess. As long as you sign up within that period, then you will be in the club. So once you submit your form, within 24 hours, I will reply to you. I will email you, letting you know that I have received your membership, and I will confirm your choices that you made as far as what you want in your shipments, fiber and prices and paying and all that. And at that time, I will also put a reserved listing up in my shop for you so that you can make your first payment, either your first payment or your full payment in advance with the 10% discount, whichever one you've chosen. I'm going to facilitate my payment, excuse me, my payments through my shop initially. I will probably actually do that for subsequent payments too. If you choose to pay per shipment, I will put the reserved listing up for each of the last 2 shipments as well. It seems to be a little easier than me doing the next 2 payments through PayPal requests, because sometimes people seem to not get those. I'm not sure why. Anyway, but your initial payment will be through a reserved listing in the club or in the shop, and I will let you know that information when I send you your confirmation email. So I believe that is all of the pertinent information about the Barberpole Fiber Club, which will be way easier to enjoy than it is apparently for me to say. I'm very excited about this. Again, this is one of my favorite spinning techniques. I love the yarn that it results in, and I hope you will too. So, yeah, that's it. If you have any questions at all, feel free to post them in that Ravelry thread that I mentioned, the Barberpole Fiber Club thread, or you can PM me on Ravelry, or you can email me directly at fibernymph@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. So that's it. Again, you can look for signups to open on Monday, April 10th at 9 a.m. That link will be in the Ravelry thread. I may post it. I will probably also post it in my Fibernymph Dye Works group on Facebook, or page, not group, on Facebook. So you'll be able to access it there as well. Okay, that's everything. Thanks so much for taking the time to hear about the club, and I'll see you later. Bye.